What's going on, family? It's your boy Pop. Welcome to another episode of Creative Conversations. Listen, I hope you've been enjoying the series so far. We have had some amazing guests who have incredible small businesses who are offering products and services that are out of this world. And I'm just glad that they're getting the notoriety that they deserve, right? And so this episode is no different, okay? I believe that this young lady's story is gonna blow you away, okay? And so without further ado, let's get into this episode. All right, so listen, we are here with Miss Madison Kistulinec. Yes, let's go. All right, let's go. She is the owner of Mad About Hair right here in the Switch 10 building in the heart of White Plains, right?
Yep.
First of all, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. As I told you off camera, I got a lot of questions. I got a lot of questions. So we're going to get into it, and I'm really excited about this conversation. But first, as we get into this, you're actually going to be the first guest that I did this with. Okay. We're going to go into something called It's Random. Okay? So I'm going to ask you 3 random questions. There's no right or wrong answers. Whatever comes to your mind is the right answer. Okay? You ready?
Ready.
All right. First question. Favorite food of all time?
Italian.
Italian. Anything specific?
Chicken parm.
Chicken parm. Okay.
Like an old school pizzeria chicken parm in the tin can.
Okay. I like that. I like the way we starting. Okay. Number 2. Favorite movie of all time?
Oof. The Breakfast Club.
Okay. Can I ask why?
John Bender was like my teenage heartthrob.
Okay.
I know every line to that movie. I used to sit at home and recite it with my family, and I had his poster up, and you know, I wanted to like date someone like him.
Okay.
Probably
Super
still
fan.
do.
Super fan. I dig it. I like it. Okay. Listen, you almost there. Third and final question. Your favorite song or album of all time?
So I'm a big Doors fan.
Okay.
Jim Morrison. So anything of that, you know. I literally went to see his gravesite in Paris.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It really like just, you know, takes me back. It's like my roots.
I got you. I love it. You listen. Give yourself a round of applause. She made it. Hot seat, 3 random. It's random. You graduated with flying colors. Outstanding. Madison. Oh my goodness. Where do I want to start with you? I want to start with of course your origin story. Tell me where you're from. Kind of tell me, you know, we got siblings. Tell me some about your family. Let the folks know kind of where you mentioned roots. Where does your roots start?
My roots are here in New York. I was born and raised in Tuxedo.
Okay.
I then bought the house I grew up in for my parents.
Oh, look at that.
Yep.
I like that.
My dad was in construction, and we as children literally grew up fixing that house.
Wow.
Doing the roof on it ourselves, gardening, yard work, yes.
What?
Yeah, we were the girls out there mowing the lawn.
I love it. That's what's up.
My sister and I. So I could not let anybody else, you know, have that home. I lived in the city for a while, but when it was time to settle down, I did purchase that house. It's about 35 minutes here from White Plains. I come over the Tappan Zee Bridge.
Okay.
And yeah, I have I have one sister. We're one of 2. She's younger than me.
Okay.
And yeah, family is
Now
we're very close.
I like that. So your father, did he have a construction business?
He worked in the city building skyscrapers. Yeah.
Got you. Because the reason why I asked, because I saw in your bio that your mom was a nail tech.
Did hair and nails. Yep.
Hair and nails.
Yep.
And she had her own business, or she worked.
Yep.
Got you. So from young, you work with your hands. You were very much so. You were very much so. Hands on. You work with your hands, and you weren't afraid to get them dirty.
No.
So
You know what's so funny is my dad wanted me to become a project manager in the construction field because he had loopholes and he was like, "You're never gonna make any money doing hair."
yeah.
Like a typical, not that you're not gonna succeed, but parents try to push you in a direction of like where they know of stability and
Yes, safety,
pensions
yep.
and things of that nature. And yeah,
And you decide a little otherwise.
yeah, glad to say I, love what I do and I did not listen.
And you didn't listen. What would you say, having that type of upbringing? What do you, as far as you being out, you fixing stuff, you cutting the grass, like you and your sister, like being introduced to those things, because traditionally that's not necessarily what the girls do.
Nope.
What are some of the things that you would say? What did you learn from that? Like what lessons, or even what things did you gather from that experience that make you who you are now?
Well, what's so funny is my sister and I, before when we were young, we weren't allowed to like go out with our friends on Saturday or Sunday unless we picked weeds or did our chores.
Wow.
And I hated my parents for that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And now when I'm older, it's like all I do for fun and boredom. And it taught me that the gratification of doing something yourself and seeing the results personally, and not being able to hire somebody or, getting that enjoyment and pleasure back is a lot more fulfilling.
I love that. That I could also imagine that lend to your work ethic.
Totally.
Because in the industry that you're in, work ethic is everything, right?
Yes.
And as an entrepreneur, work ethic is everything, right?
Yep.
So and it's interesting because as you grow, and I always say my parents are the smartest people in the world. At the time, I had no idea what they was talking about. I hated it.
Yep.
But at the same time, as I'm looking back, like, oh, okay, it all starts to kind of make sense, right?
Yep.
And so I'm glad that you were able to understand, or the things that you learned helped you to actually put those tools in your tool belt, so that this way they were transferable skills that now you're using, right?
Definitely later in life. I definitely fought it tooth and nail and hated it, but yes, I do see the connection.
Yeah, 100%.
And I appreciate it.
100%. 100%. So now, Mom Nail Tech,
Yes.
you were assisting her,
Yes.
right, at some point. So now now from your bio, you said as she was working, like you were like from a baby.
Yes.
You were there with her.
In the bassinet.
In the bassinet, you were there with her.
Yes.
And then at 12,
I started going on Saturdays and doing like just folding towels. She would take me. I'd work like they'd have like little pop-up jewelry things. This is back in the day in the 90s when you actually got your nails done and your hair done at the same time.
oh my,
Like an old school,
yeah,
just big, huge salon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Saturdays when I was old enough, instead of staying home and being in front of a television, I would go and sweep the floor, talk to people, play around, work the front desk. It was fun. It was like the best fun ever.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So you're already, unbeknownst to you, in this environment that's cultivating what you're later going to do as a profession, right?
And I had no idea.
No idea.
Had no idea.
You just had fun. You were just 12 years old. You were having fun. You got a chance to hang out with Mom.
Yeah.
It just was what you did.
You're there with older women doting on you.
Yeah.
They bring you back Starbucks and yeah.
Yes. Okay.
was
All
like-
the perks.
Yeah.
All the
These
perks of
women were like my mentors, and I didn't even
Yeah.
know it. Like my, not mothers, second mothers, but like aunts and, female figures to look up to.
that. Yeah, 1000%.
Yeah.
So then you go to is it hair school at 15?
Yeah. So I was not the greatest student. I
Okay.
hated school.
Okay.
I
Okay.
went to Catholic school up until 8th grade, and then my parents switched me, which was very abrupt, to a huge public school
Ah.
where my class was like 650 kids.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
From
Okay.
like 20 kids in Catholic school.
So what was that though? As like that had to be a culture shock because especially coming from a smaller school, and then now it's like people everywhere. Like
Yeah.
what was that experience for you?
I had a very difficult time. Like just the academics was completely different of what, a huge public school could offer versus this tiny little Catholic school. So I was so behind. My mother was there like literally every day for global history because I wasn't showing up. I was hanging out with boys. I was cutting class. I was also the new girl. So like there was like talk of like, oh, who's that girl? I'm like, oh, all the boys like her?
Yeah,
I'm like, oh. So I definitely ran with that. I was the rebel.
Oh, okay.
And I hated school. I really didn't show up. Not that I didn't show up. It was just I didn't see the point.
It didn't appeal to you.
I didn't understand why we needed, algebra and things of that nature until I went to chemistry.
Okay.
I went to chemistry, and I'll never forget my teacher, Mr. Turoff. He has now passed, but it like made the connection of like I aced chemistry. I probably could have been a chemist, and how much I love hair color.
So that all came. Okay.
Yeah, it was like full circle. So yes, in high school, they offer something in junior and senior year where instead of going to school for the whole day, you spend half of your day for those 2 years, your last 2 years, going to a vocational school.
Okay.
So I was like, Mom, I need to get into cosmetology. It was either cosmetology or culinary I was interested in.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're just an artist all around.
And I was like, Mom, you need to talk, like I need that spot because this school encompasses, the whole county. So the slots are limited to a class of 20. So by the grace of God, I got in.
Got in.
Yeah.
That is okay. All right. So I stalked out your Instagram. I saw a post of you folding towels with your dog and you're folding towels.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because you're mentioning when you were a little girl in the salon with your mom, you were folding towels.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense why that was such a somewhat of an iconic moment for you. And the reason why you take such care into those small details. Yep. Because that is what made you, right? That's what grew you, right?
Totally.
And so that now seeing that post actually impacts me that much more because I'm like, wow, this is where you started.
Yeah.
So now that you're here, you haven't lost the foundation from where you came.
Not at all.
That's really powerful. You're a mom. You are
single mom.
You're a single mom. You are a hair, not just stylist, but you specialize in coloring.
Yep.
You are a, give me the
Redken.
Redken
Yeah.
educator.
Yep.
And you are very accomplished in what it is that you do. Entrepreneur. And unapologetically you.
Definitely.
Where does that confidence come from?
My dad.
Tell me more about that.
He just always taught us that whatever you're going to do, even if you're a garbage person, you be the best at it. No one could stop you. And that even though you're a woman, you could get out there and mow the grass or, be president or...
There's nothing that you can't do.
Correct.
And you believed it.
That's how I was nurtured when I grew up, that you get out there, you do it.
Yeah.
It was hard.
Yeah.
Still is hard.
Yeah.
I'm 35. I still get slack.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Wow. I was blown away by the fact that you wear so many hats. But it seemed as if I love the fact that you were transparent about the hats that you wear. And as I was going through Instagram, I was like, wow, I can understand why people would fall in love with you, because you are not afraid, one, to be you, but also to tell people who you are, and allow them in.
Totally.
Right? And so that confidence really that came across loud and clear, right? And so you also, being a single mom and an entrepreneur, how have you been able to balance that? And have you been able to balance that?
Sometimes I drown
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm gasping for air.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
It's hard. It's hard. Everybody sees, oh, she's going on another vacation.
Yeah.
Oh, like she makes everything look so easy. Oh, she's so put together. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to juggle. I wish I had a personal assistant
Yeah.
for my business, for my home. I just get up every day and I say, you know what can I handle today? What's on my plate? How can I do better? How can I not let negativity affect me? And you know what? Honestly, work brings me a lot of joy of that. It's like I come to work and I could be having the worst morning.
Yeah.
And by the time I talk to my first or second client, who are like family, it's like, you know what, we're laughing, we're joking, or they have a terrible story. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, my morning was not as,
Yeah.
and they really pull me out of it. And I've realized that over the past year.
That's awesome. And I love the fact that you say that your clients are your family, because even off camera you were talking about different clients and how they are your family. And also, as I look through your Instagram, I see that you have clients that's been with you for years.
Literally my first client when I was 15, I was in the salon working. My mom was like, try Laura's hair.
Yeah.
So and so didn't show up today. You do it. And she's been my client ever since. And
you
I
serious?
literally can't even. We count back, and I'm like, oh my god, how many years have I been
Yeah.
doing her hair? I don't feel that old, but yes, since I was 15.
How have you been able to do that? To cultivate how have you been able to cultivate that type of loyalty with your clients?
I always prioritize them.
Okay.
I mean, since I was 15, there were times when I wasn't in Rockland. I mean, I lived in the city for 2 years.
Yeah.
I would come back on the weekends and do these people's hair out of their house.
Really?
Or after work when I worked in salons, and work until midnight.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
It just was never an option. I'm not the type of person that's like, well, I only work 9 to 5, and if I can't get you in and you can't fit in my schedule, then like find someone else. It never is an option for me.
It never is an option for you. Why do you think, would you say that mentality is what has garnered you the level of success that you have?
I mean, it's loyalty.
Yeah.
They're loyal to me. I'm not leaving them. You'd have to leave me before I leave
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
But yes.
Now, let me ask you this, because I think this is important, because one of the reasons why I asked you about your daughter is because, or the difficulty or the challenge in balancing is because, like, you're not a run of the mill. This is not something that you just started to do or figured out, yesterday. That, like, you have a resume.
Yeah.
You've been doing this for how many years?
20.
You've been doing this for 20 years. And not only have you been doing it for 20 years, you have educated yourself, and you have landed some pretty awesome opportunities. And also I saw that you also style and color for New York Fashion Week.
Yep.
Tell me kind of the backstory about how some of these opportunities came about.
I'm not out there like paying for views or things like that. Sometimes I think my social media sucks, or like, how do I get more followers? It's really just, who you know. Being involved with Redken was a lot of it. I have had opportunities to work Parsons Fashion Week with Rihanna. I've had clients who have, won Oscars, and then just networking and always saying yes, honestly. Always saying yes and being a yes person has really changed my view, I'd say, in the last like 7 years. And then with that, sometimes good just finds you.
Yeah.
Like clients have reached out to me, hey, just do this questionnaire, not knowing I'd end up on an Insider magazine, which is like Vogue. That's like it's huge. And then you get that email and you're like, you're being published, and you're like, what? The me? Me?
Yeah. Wow.
So I'm very humble and grateful in what has found me, honestly.
So I gotta touch this. You said, oh God, this is fascinating. You said that being yes or saying yes or being a yes person has benefited you. A lot of the times, at least on my end, I've heard being a yes person and it's been framed as something negative. But you're saying in your personal experience, saying yes to things has actually opened the door
Totally.
for opportunities for you.
Yep.
Those opportunities, now, I think it's also important to note, you have opportunities, or opportunities present themselves. How important is being prepared for those opportunities?
I still fly by the seam of my pants sometimes.
Gotcha.
I
Okay, yeah.
think I do prepare, I do take things seriously, but like I said with school, I was never good at
Yeah.
being prepared. So,
Yeah.
like I said, I'll have a shoot the next day, and at 10 p.m. that night, I am doing my kid and
Yeah.
making sure,
Yeah.
not 2 days later, not
Yeah.
2 days earlier, where
Yeah.
if I'm missing something, I'm doing it the night before. Yeah.
Yeah. But now I wonder if that's because, and maybe let me say it this way, you've been doing it for so long, and because you have invested the time, you've invested the money, right? The time, the energy, the brain power to actually get to know a skill and become really good at it.
Totally.
Right? And because it's what you do and it's what consumes you, it's what you think about. I'm looking and I'm seeing you're going to different workshops. Like you take this thing seriously.
Yeah.
And so even though you may not necessarily be, have a checklist of the things that you need to do prior to a shoot or prior to this, because you have hands on, because you have skin in the game and you've been doing it and you continue to practice it, that's preparation in and of itself.
Yes.
So when the opportunities do present itself, you're just applying the knowledge that you already have.
It's like autopilot.
You don't have to go and try to gather the information to then try to apply it. Like you're ready, right? I love the saying that says when if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Yep.
Right? And it seems like that's the type of person that you are, right?
Even I literally lived this. For 20 years.
For 20 years.
Nothing else.
So, do you love it?
Love is not even like the word.
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything else.
Wow.
Even days I get burnt out and you're like, oh, or I go on vacation. I love walking back through my doors, genuinely. It doesn't feel like work. Like I don't work.
You don't, yeah.
I hang out with really cool people and do a lot of fun stuff. And I'm the one who gets invited to their graduations and baby showers and bridal showers. It's not work.
So a part of what makes you special is not just the talent that you've cultivated, that you now have, but it's your ability to be able to forge relationships.
Yeah.
Right? That is what makes you special, and I'm sure that's why the clients have stayed around for 20 years.
Yeah.
Right? Because you've made it a point to establish those relationships. How important for someone who may want to get into your industry, someone who's interested in styling, someone who's interested in, going to cosmetology school to be able to even specialize in coloring, whatever that happens to be within your industry. How important is not just relationships, but how important is client relationships to you?
It's so funny because when I used to teach classes, I would, like you get, a lot of hairstylists, or the stigmatism is like, they're so stuck up, or I've had clients even say like, I left this salon because, I felt uncomfortable, and all the stylists thought like who they were. It's like,
Wow.
no one wants to feel like that, number one. And I always felt very, like when I would teach, my message was always at the end about just gratitude and how, listen, we all know every Instagram, I could go online, there's 10 salons down the block that, your clients could choose from. The hair's great, this is great, but what makes you different? What makes you authentic? And a lot of that is your relationship and how you make people feel. And that was always what I drilled into your head. Like, your talent and your skill set is secondary. How you make people feel from that initial, hi, how are you?
Yeah.
Are you having reaching back out to people? Are you having a bad day?
Yeah.
Just be genuine, be a
Yeah.
person. Like, that was always my biggest message.
No, that's big.
Yeah.
No, that's big on so many different levels. Number one, like for instance, so my cousins were barbers forever, and they would cut my hair, and I would and I didn't know what I was witnessing at the time, but guys would come into the barbershop, sit in their chair, and as they're rarely was there ever a time when the guy got in the chair, they might have not said a word when they came into the barbershop, but as soon as they got into that chair, they just started to talk.
Yeah.
I mean, the entire time.
That's like the perfect example of like that old school, like, hang out.
Yes.
And on a Saturday,
Yes.
you looked in the window, it's packed.
Packed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I would sit there.
And people don't want to leave.
They didn't want to leave.
Yeah. They don't want to go home.
They didn't want to leave. And I'm sitting there, and I'm young at the time, my older cousins, and so I would just kind of just hang out. I would hang, sort of like you, me and my cousin, we were around the same age, we just hang out in the shop. And person after person after person got into their chair, and they would just talk and talk and talk. And I'm like, yo, this dude sat next to me. He didn't say 2 words.
Yeah.
But as soon as he got, so the and I didn't realize it until later on. Like you all in your position, you're not just a hairstylist. You're a therapist to some of these people.
Well, and then it's like, give it an hour, and then everybody's talking
Yeah, exactly.
to one another.
Yeah, exactly. So it becomes a whole counseling session.
Yeah.
A whole group counseling session.
Yes.
And this is and I think this is why it's so important to have these conversations, because it's so much deeper than just, hey, come in and get your hair done. It's come in, meet someone who actually, or people who actually may be going through something that you're going through, have a similar story.
Yep.
And this is a place where you can get a service done, yes, but also have a service done, right?
Yeah.
Whereas you all are, like you said, all of us are talking, all of us are getting to know each other, all of us are building relationships, and on top of that, we're getting stuff off of our chest, we get stuff off our shoulders.
Yes.
That's a big deal, and not just for your client, but for you too.
Well, it's like,
right?
why do you think people say, oh my gosh, I walk out feeling so good? It's like, there's a 2-part component to that.
Yes,
Yeah.
1000%.
Yes.
What would you say you give? What is one thing that you would say that you give to your clients?
100% of myself.
Wow.
Good, bad, or indifferent. I mean, they know my life, like they know me.
Yeah. You give them your authentic self. Man, that's big.
Because it's not even like a, there's not a one word, like, a great client experience.
Yeah.
Or, it's like, I truly what do you want vacation recommendations?
Yeah, yeah,
Do
yeah,
you want
yeah, yeah.
restaurant
Yeah,
recommendations? Do you want to talk about your breakup? Do you
yeah,
want to, explore other, rarely do we talk about hair.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But I love that because why would you want anything else,
Yeah.
right?
That's what makes it
Why would you want anything else? Like you
not a
would
job.
exactly. You would want the person who is ultimately taking care of something that's very important to one's appearance, and not. And if you go a level deeper, it's not just your appearance; it's the confidence, how you view yourself, what you think about yourself, right? So why wouldn't you want somebody who's going to give you their authentic self for you to place the care of something so important in their hands, right?
I mean, like you said, it's like 20 years of experience that just turns on automatically.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
that's my autopilot.
That's your autopilot.
What I give is
Yeah.
the second part is myself.
Yeah. Oh, so you get expertise. Listen
I
to
could, it's like I could, all right, you're an expert, but it's like if I had a crappy personality,
it wouldn't matter.
it wouldn't have the perfect, synchronization.
100%. I like that word. Like, but what's blowing my mind is the fact that not only not only are you getting in Madison a 20 plus years of experience, of specialized experience, but you're getting a real person,
Yeah.
right? Like it doesn't get any better than that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't get any better than that. So I salute and I applaud you for your willingness to be able to do this, because you're doing the hair of, and I put this in air quotes, and I say it, very loosely, but the everyday person.
Yeah.
But you've done the hair of celebrities.
Yeah.
Right? And so to that point, if you were a different type of person, you could be on your high horse, like, you know what I mean? Like how, how dare you? Like, do you know who I've done the hair for?
It's so funny. Sometimes I even have to remember, like, oh yeah, I did like that
Wow.
that shoot for Rihanna, and it's like,
Wow.
oh yeah, I
Oh
forgot
yeah.
about that. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I love that. But it's so full circle because you cut grass when you were a girl, when you were a little girl.
Still do.
You still do.
I still do.
Let's go. You repaired roofs.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense why you have this humble spirit, because you had your hands in the dirt.
Yes.
You were
Literally.
You were willing to put your hands in the dirt. You were willing to do jobs that a lot of people wouldn't do.
No.
Right? And so, yes, it makes sense why you're grounded, because you had your hands in the ground literally.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so it's interesting how all of those things, all of those pieces put together who you are, right?
Yep.
And here we are now where you get a chance to be able to do what you love to do, and it doesn't feel like work. You get to provide a service to people who may not necessarily need a makeover physically, but a makeover mentally, spiritually, emotionally, right? And you have cultivated an environment where it's a one-stop shop for it all, right?
Yep.
And that is not an easy thing to do at all. Plus, you trying to juggle everything that you have going on personally and trying to do that to the best of your ability, because as you said earlier, you are not the type of person who does things halfway.
Yep.
And so I applaud and I salute you for what you have been able to do, and I would encourage you to give yourself grace. Continue to give yourself grace, right? Because what you're building is not easy, and a lot of people wouldn't have the courage to do it, right? And do it the way that you do it.
My favorite person says that all the time. You need to give yourself grace.
You have to give yourself grace, right?
Yep.
We're gonna
Because I'm always like, well, why this?
Yeah.
And why that?
Yeah.
And what do you mean? Like, why is everything on 1,000?
Yeah. Listen, I get it.
It's just like the way my brain works.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And taking that and just taking a moment to breathe and say, okay. Because when you look at things from, the saying, I love the saying that says, hard to see the light when you're facing the glare. But if I'm looking at it head on, it's a different perspective than if I'm looking at it from up here, right? And so sometimes that one moment, that breath, that permission to give yourself grace allows you to kind of elevate and look down at the situation. But okay, it's really not. Okay, let me take a couple steps back. Let me take my foot off the gas,
Yes.
just a little bit.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We're gonna land this plane because I could talk to you for forever and ever, amen.
I know.
And again, thank you again for this opportunity. I really I'm honored. I consider this an opportunity. The question that I want to end this with is: we are entrepreneurs, small business owners, right? And with a desire to help, with a desire to provide excellence, right?
Yep.
And it's a lot of the times, at least, particularly on social media, entrepreneurship is glorified. It's the best thing since sliced bread. Everybody should do it, and everybody's gonna make $1 billion in three hours,
Yes.
right? But we know that that's not reality, right? Entrepreneurship, this journey is not for the faint of heart. We got highs, we got lows, we have really good times, and we have awful times.
Yep.
What I want to focus on those awful times, those challenges, right? What do you do? What does Madison do when times are challenging? What do you tap into? What do you lean on to help you get through some of those challenging times as an entrepreneur?
So funny. I would say now is a challenging time for me, and I actually started going to church.
Okay. Okay.
And a lot of times, honestly, it's like I work really hard when I work.
Yeah.
I'll work 10-hour days, but the days that I'm off, I want to be in my home. I want to dig my feet into the dirt. I want to be slow and be calm and be steady and, pick up the book that my client, left me on my coffee table and read a page and remember that day by day, hour by hour, we're not superheroes.
That's right.
I mean, even for myself, I'm so hard on myself and, goals and why didn't I do this? And I wanted to be better at this. And I'm only one person.
Only one person. Wow. Leaning on your faith. That's strong. That's strong. Oh, Madison, this is amazing. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you.
I genuinely love this.
Good. I'm glad.
I could hug you.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to do that. We're gonna have to do that. That's a definite.
Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. As I told you, okay, we're not just having business talk. We're talking to human beings who happen to be small business owners and entrepreneurs, who have stories, who have challenges, who have accolades, but also they have things that they struggle with as well, right? We're all having a human experience. And this is what makes entrepreneurship so intriguing and interesting. This is what makes it worth it as well. I hope that you step away from this show knowing or understanding that relationships are key. Having something to lean on is key, but also understanding that every single piece of your journey is necessary for where you are now. And if you're struggling right now, give yourself some grace. And I'm going to see you next episode. Appreciate you tapping into Creative Convos. We'll see you soon. Peace.
Thank you.
Hugs.